did you have to have a tryout, or did they automatically put you right into the mix?
No, no tryout. I went straight to the first taping. I had no guarantee of spot. It wasn't like I was coming in as the franchise Shane Douglas or whatever, or even the dynamic dude Shane Douglas. It was just Shane Douglas. I was given a mid-card position. I wasn't getting beaten on a nightly basis. I wasn't winning on a nightly basis. It was just, I was sort of there. But I remember my 1990 stint there. I was there for about a little over a year. I enjoyed it. I really had fun. I was working with guys like Jake Roberts and Haku and, you know, some pretty talented guys. Occasionally I'd slide them over, or like I remember me and Haku, we did Broadways quite often, and
15-minute Broadways.
Yeah, and I remember thinking to myself, even giving me that, going toe to toe with this guy for 15 minutes is a hell of a start for me. A lot better than what I was getting there. And I made decent money. I didn't get rich, but I made comparable to what I was making in WCW under contract. And enjoyed it. I had a good time there in 1990. I can't say anything negative about the WWF or Vince at that time.
Now, I was a pretty big fan of it back then, and I don't recall any vignettes of you before you made your debut. Were there any done?
In the WWF?
Yeah.
No, but Vince wanted to. I used to play bass guitar and sang and wrote music. At that time, Vince wanted, I remember him sitting in his office and, you know, looking me up and down, and had different sketches for outfits. And he wanted to, what he told me was he wanted to create a legitimate rock star. You know, somebody who was out on tour making and you know, doing that industry, and then coming back and doing much more what he would do years later, like with The Rock, or, you know, Jericho with music. And they had Jimmy Hart. I went to the Pittsburgh, before I went on the road, they came to the Pittsburgh Civic Arena. I went and met with Jimmy Hart, and he had 3 or 4 songs written in 3 or 4 versions, like a bubblegum version, a rock version, a heavy metal version. And we sat in the back with just a little recorder, like a little machine, and he'd play the music and I would sing to it. And he said, well, I think you're more in this range, and he'd like rewrite the notes to the song. One was American Girls, another one's called Rockin' Down the Halls. And I can still remember the line to Rockin' Down the Halls. It was, me and my boys, me and my boys are going rocking down the hall. We're doing what we want because we're skipping study hall. It was something like corny along that line. But, you know, the music that Jimmy had written had a good hook to it, and I thought to myself, if they allow some interaction and back and forth, I could probably do this. And that's when the girls came up with the, if you remember, the outfit that had the leather straps and the denim and the tearaway pants that the seamstress girls had made. And right as that all started coming together is when my dad came down with latter stage emphysema. And Vince and I had a long talk, and it was either Niagara or Erie. I want to say it was Niagara. And I told him what was going on, and he told me family always comes first. He put this glowing story on the table about his mother. My mother's my hero. She took care of us, on and on and on. So you can imagine my surprise years later when I read in Playboy magazine the accusations. But he said to me that the door was always open for me to come back. I'd been a great employee. Go home, take care of your father, and good or bad outcome, when you're ready to come back, just give me a call.
So it was your choice to leave, and basically they just brought you in as an extra hand to do whatever job was available.
Right.
But they liked what you did, and they were about to give you a gimmick, but you took the family option.
Exactly right, yes.